Good morning. My name is Andrea of Andrea Gonzalez Motivations. I am here to greet each and every one of you with love. I'm here to inspire you with hope. I'm here to challenge you for change and to impact you for life. Today is Tuesday, August the 28th, and we're going to talk about it, think about it, and then do something about it. Our brief conversation today is going to be stay in your lane. I repeat, stay in your lane. Listen, do you strive for excellence in your life? Or are there only certain areas that you strive for excellence in? It says in my notes, should you care about seeking excellence for your life? I believe you should. These are questions that I want you to ask yourself. How are you going to get there? Are you striving for excellence in your life? Should you be seeking excellence in your life? And how are you going to get there? Staying in your lane is going to briefly talk about something that we physically understand, which is driving, and there's different lanes. And we're going to compare them or compare them to our life, more or less. We have got to work hard to rise above mediocrity. People around us mostly are okay with the life that they have. They're not happy, but they're not fed up to a point where they want to change it. Does that make sense to you? They're not happy where they are, but they're not willing to do anything different to change it. Therefore, they are satisfied with the mediocrity that their life is continually producing for them. Most Americans are big dreamers. We dream big. We want big things. We want big homes. We want the cars and the vacations that come with it and the money in the bank. We want those things. But we very rarely do anything opposite of what we're doing to get to those things. So, along with Americans or human beings being big dreamers, we're big dreamers that are living paycheck to paycheck, and we're not trying to sacrifice, change, maneuver, go in a different direction, do a 180 to change from being where we are to where we want to be. We don't transition well. This staying in your lane today, I want to talk about the lanes on a highway and how they relate to the lanes in your life. If life is compounded like a highway, we're only going to use like the major three highways that we experience mainly on the roads that I drive in Michigan. Sometimes highways will get to be four lanes, but in retrospect, most of them are three. So the first lane would be the merge on lane or the entrance lane. And so the second lane we're going to call the driving lane, and the third lane we're going to call the passing lane. And actually, that's what they really are. If you go on to the Department of Transportation, that's how they terminalize these lanes. The entrance lane where you're getting onto the highway, you're entering the highway, you're trying to merge into traffic that's already flowing. And then after you get onto the highway, you're supposed to move into the next lane, which is the driving lane, consistent, moving forward lane. And then when someone that's in front of you or around you that you maybe want to move away from, or they're not going the speed limit that you're able to drive, then you get into the far left lane, and that's called the passing lane. I've even seen it when I drive down south that they say that don't drive in the passing lane, pass and then get back into the driving lane. Your life has similar lanes as we are speaking about the lanes on a highway. The beginning of your dream is the lane in which you emerge or you merge onto the highway. It is your entrance lane. It's where your thoughts are. It's where your plans are. It's where the navigation begins to unfold. You're not really trying to speed in that lane. You're trying to get familiar in that lane. It's the total process of helping this dream to become a reality, the beginning steps of this process. It's a lane that commits you to filtering the entire process of the concrete plan that you are striving for. If you notice, most people, when they merge onto the highway, they're not at tip top speed. They're just at a high enough speed to get on and merge onto the highway. That's where you are in the entrance lane of your life. When you're taking your dream from in your head to on paper, from on paper to action, from action to direction, from direction to the total navigation. That's what that first lane is about, staying in your lane. You don't want to take that lane and avoid or any of the process of your success, of your dream, of your thought process, of your analysis, of your research. Because if you leave that lane too soon, you will find yourself back in that lane because things didn't come together. Things were not prepared for you to move to the next lane. Does that make any sense to you? Let me continue to move on. So once that concrete plan is put together, your thoughts are complete in the process. When your direction of where you want to go is complete, when you have vision of where you're trying to go, when you can put something to the plan, then it's time to move from the entrance or merging lane into the driving lane. The driving lane, the second lane, to the lane right next to your left side. As you merge into that lane, then you put the blinker on to get into that lane. But it's more steady. That lane, people are driving more consistent at a consistent speed. The lane is flowing. More or less. So once you get into the second lane, your dream is now taking root. It's beginning to pick up a little bit of speed. You're getting some momentum behind you. You're feeling excited, but not just feeling excited, but things are happening for you in this lane. It's a picture that's becoming clear. Even though you thought the first lane it was clear, it is becoming crystal clear of where you want to go. You're beginning to filter out some things that you thought were important in the first lane, but now you recognize that they're not needed anymore. Or you add some things to it because now you have a little bit more experience in this second lane. And so as you continue to drive in the second lane, you're picking up momentum. Your doors are being opened for you. The exits that were in the far right lane, they become farther between. You're not having as many pit stops as you did in the first lane. You're not stop and go. You're being more consistent. You're flowing. You're getting there. You are committed with this thing. You have a drive inside of you. Not only is the second lane helping you to be more efficient, it's also helping you to be more not just committed, but the endeavors inside of you. It's almost like it's taken on a life of its own. You've got to do this thing. It's a drive that almost takes a life of its own, so to speak. So after you are in this lane and you're driving for a while and things are starting to become very comfortable, they're becoming very familiar. Things are happening for you. It's now time to pass some people. You know, that third lane is the passing lane. And sometimes when you get to a place that before you become stagnant, it's time to move out and around some people. So now it's time to go to the third lane. And now you're truly moving forward. You are moving at a faster rate. Your foot is actually literally on the gas, pressing it to move forward, pressing it to move faster. So the speed is faster. And so that means that things are coming to you faster. The vision is coming faster. It's coming to fruition. Things are happening. You're moving. You're producing. You are doing exactly what it is that you thought you could do back in the first lane, which was the process lane, which was the preparation lane. You went from preparation to now getting your feet wet and being consistent to now literally putting your foot on the pedal and moving this thing forward with all determination, with all excitement, with a really concrete plan. Not only are you doing that, but the dream hasn't become any easier, but what it has become more relevant. It has become more significant. You have found your niche. You found your place. And this third lane is giving you what you need to continue to propel you forward. It's no looking back by the time you get to this third